And we're live. Let me set up. For those people that are not watching live, for those people that are watching after the fact, this is going to be really boring. Much more fun to watch live because we get to interact. You can ask me questions and we can talk and chat and all that other stuff. Anyway, you get the idea. Hey, Craig. All right, so we have the audio. We're good there. Hey, Ken. Actually, for you guys, before we start, Jacob Reed, hello. 6 people on. Wow, that was fast. I ordered some chains by mistake from HL Supply. I ordered, these were on clearance. They're cross chains. 3/8 Low Pro 050 66 Drive Link. Cowroy 64, you're Justin. Forgive me if I don't remember that, okay, buddy? Is anybody interested in these chains? I'm either going to send them back to HL Supply or I could just ship them to somebody else, and either way it's going to be shipping on me. They were $6 a piece. But they're an odd size because they're 3/8 Low Pro. I run 66 Drive Link in 325, not 3/8. So I made a mistake when I bought these. Is anybody interested? I've got 7 of them. I think they're $6 a piece. I'll ship them for nothing. So 7, so that's 42, right? $42 for 7 chains. I think they go to the old Craftsman's or something like that, because I can't seem to find a bar for these things either. Driving me nuts. Oh dear. Okay, so what do we got? Yeah, Ken, they're an odd size. 66 Drive Link 3/8 Low Pro 050. Jacob, they might be for the older Huskies or the Craftsmans or something like that. So I just wanted to get a squish here. Yeah, good deal for somebody. I got 7 of them. I want to ship them all to one person. They're $6 a piece. It's either somebody wants to buy them, I'll just ship them to them, or I'm going to ship them back to HL Supply. I don't want to break up the lot. I have 7 of them. I like going to the post office once, you know, type of thing. Apparently 66 Drive Link and 3/8 Low Pro is kind of odd. But you'd have, if you have a Husky 240, you'd have a really long supply of chains if you bought all 7. Probably would last you a long time. I just wanted to get a squish on this thing. It was either that or I mean I can pop these out. I don't have a breaker yet. I need to get a breaker. I know. I'm working on it. But way too far down. A little better. Better. So time to break out the chain breaker. I don't have a chain breaker. I need to get a breaker, but if I had a chain breaker, I have a brand new spinner, brand new rivet spinner, but I don't have my chain breaker. I just haven't gotten one yet. Only money. So I have the contract in my hand for the new job, and it looks reasonable. Ken, if you have an extra, maybe we could trade. Uzel has both now. Maybe worth it, you know, next time I order from them. I try to only place big orders from Hoozle. You know, for little stuff like, hey Larry, 200T chain catchers. It's an aluminum part. There's no reason not to have that aftermarket. You know, to pay the full market price, I think is silly on those. For stuff like that, it makes sense to get it from Hoozle, but for other stuff, you know. Tonight, I just wanted to quickly get a squish on this. By the way, if anybody's interested, if anybody's interested in this 394 that I'm building, let me know. I don't have a particular use planned for it. Seems like this cylinder head was refurbished in some way. Somebody did something to it. But it looks pretty nice, so use it. Where's my other... my... Great. For some reason, my toolbox is out in the car. So just putting the cylinder head on, I want to see what the squish is, and that's basically going to be the excitement for the evening. Flywheel's got a little bit of a chink out of it. Let me just leave that. Gotta find a Woodruff key. I don't know if I can find it in here. Probably not. So I'll pull one out of the new. Obviously. 11 people here and nobody's talking. What's going on, guys? Oh, I know what that is. Woodruff key right here. Brandy new Woodruff key. Happen to have sitting around. I'm one of the 7 finalists in Woodstack 2018. That's cool, but what is that? I don't know what that is. I'll look it up. Should I know what that is? I don't know. Am I weird? Sorry. Outdoors with the Morgan's Channel. 261 is the grand prize. So what are you competing for? Or well, that's what you're competing for, but what's the competition? What's the actual competition? Perfect stack. So what are you stacking? Firewood? Are you doing like the dime stacking competition, or what's the perfect stack? Okay, so you're taking a log that's sticking out of the ground and you're cutting it sideways, trying to stack up as many as you can, right? Oh, neat cord of firewood. Oh, no, it's for firewood, not pole stacking, but firewood stacking. Got it. So 25, 31. So no gasket, I'm at 31. This is about 31 thickness stock here. $14 people. Must not be a game on tonight or something. No game on tonight? Okay, so 30, 31. So stock Squish, if I had a gasket, about 20 thousandths thick. So stock Squish on this is like 51 thousandths. So with a gasket. So if you want 20 thousandths, you gotta take off 31 thousandths. Now I'm just gonna write on here minus 0.031. So that way I remember, because I'm going to take this down to the folks and do the machining. Oh, the election's tonight. Yeah, right. There's that too. Okay, got to get this out of here before this falls on the ground. Woodruff key comes out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to store the Woodruff key right there with that. "14 people here, just so everybody knows. I have 7 of these chain loops. These are 66 drive link, 3/8 050 low pro, which is an odd size. I'd like to sell all 7 because they're $6 a piece. So 7 of these, $42. I'll include shipping. I paid $6 a piece from them from HL Supply, and it's the wrong size. I ordered the wrong size. So I can either send them back, and it's going to cost me shipping to do that, or I can ship it to one of you guys. So if anybody wants 66 drive link, 3/8 low pro 050 chains for $6 a piece, you have to buy all 7 though. Otherwise, I'm just going to send them back to HL Supply. Taking off the head of the case. I'll definitely take off the case here. Yeah, I machined this on the Bridgeport, so this is going to go down to my folks' place where they have a Bridgeport. So if anybody wants the chains, let me know. If anybody's interested in this $394 for me building them up for them, we can do that. We can talk. Yeah, Justin, I have a number of videos that actually show me doing this on the Bridgeport, but I can't go live on the Bridgeport. Doesn't really work. There's no signal up there. Okay, so let's put this all back. So now what I typically do is I need plumber's putty, but I think I'm out. So what I'll typically do is stuff this with Kleenexes, coat it with WD-40, and then plumber's putty the whole thing with this as far up as possible. And then I can go in here with the Bridgeport, indicate it, and then basically set your depth at 31 thousandths and make the cut. And now you have a squish of 020 with a gasket. So this will definitely prove potent when I'm done. Okay, so what I need to do is get more plumber's putty. So I need to do a trip to Lowe's and a trip to my parents for machining. What else? Anybody else doing anything tonight? I mean, that's really the only thing that I've got going is if somebody wants to do a commission build on this, you know, we can talk. If not, then I guess I'll just do it, and whoever somebody local wants it, that's fine too. Well, Jacob, I'll offer you best of luck, sir. If you have a stacking competition. It's definitely something I know very little about, so I have a hard time commenting otherwise, you know? What else? So I'm probably going to take the job. Kevin McKenney, what's going on, man? Yes, I'm still at it. I think I'm gonna take the job. I have the contract, and it's pretty straightforward. So, which means I'll sign on the dotted line. I'll probably start next week. So I don't know what that means for live streams, and I don't know what that means for all this other stuff. I don't know how much time I'll realistically have. I'd like to continue hanging out with you guys because, you know, I've been getting a kick out of this. Kevin, you're welcome to comment or heckle or anything you want to do. Okay, buddy. Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate it. This is a really big step. It's picking an office is a lot like picking a spouse. It's really, you know, I think this is a solid offer and it's a solid office. So it's going to be different from what I'm used to, but you know, it's a job and it's solid. So I have a hard time complaining about that. What else? So yeah, so I don't ultimately know what that means. Really hoping to have tools in my hands. Kevin, I have to be honest and say the dream is here with you guys. You know, that's really what the dream's at. I've been having fun. A little bit, you know, frustrating at times. It was yesterday, the day before, whatever it was. I couldn't find freaking parts, driving me berserk. That was just driving me absolutely bonkers nuts. But you know, those things happen live. It turns out they were in the garbage. I had to pull. I tore through all my parts, tore through like everything. Couldn't find them. They were in the garbage. Does the office know about my chainsaw addiction? Yes, they do. I think. They certainly know about the YouTube channel. Whether they've come here or not, you know, whatever. I kind of doubt they've actually come here and really give it a serious look. The fact that I've got 5,000 subs at this point, I think is just awesome. Clearly you guys take me more seriously than I take myself, which I think is great. And at least certainly my wife gets a kick out of it too. But in all seriousness, Kevin, you know, the dream is you know, it's not like I don't like dentistry. Please don't get me wrong. And it's not that I'm not good at it. But after getting a taste of retirement here for a couple of months, you know, what it feels like to do pretty much what I want to do on a day in, day out basis, that's kind of hard to beat, you know. I'd love to go into the dental office and pick my projects and just do what I want to do, but I just don't think that that's reality for me. Follow my dreams. You know, Kevin, it's hard to do. I'll be honest and say the whole following your dreams thing, um, it's hard to do. The For all kinds of different reasons. and I think that I've had a okay. So just to clarify, kind of on my story, not much here, just relaxing. Good, Larry. I hope you have a drink. So my story is a bit unique. I have a I don't have a desire to be like other people. Can you guys see me? Dreams aren't cheap. That's true. So I actually only did 3 years of high school. I did everything I possibly could as fast as I could to be a dentist and to be a dentist with my father. Can you guys see me? Not really. Gotta go a little higher. And so I still believe that my father is one of the best dentists I've ever seen. Um, but for a minute, it didn't work out working in that office. So I did it for 12 years, and literally my entire life was focused on that. So this has been a big change, and to step away from that and to kind of go find my own way and do my own thing. Um, you know, it's I've done some relaxing in the last 2 months, 3 months, whatever it's been. Um, I've done some interviews. I've met some different people. I've done some brush hauling. Just going out with. I was out with Steve, one of the tree guys today, delivering the blowers actually, and a 200T. He was out there. Man, that was a big. We had an oak stump. It was like this. Must have been 10 or 12 feet high. Oh my God, it was huge. Oh, it must have been 6,000 pounds. That thing. Oh, huge piece. And he was trying to knock it over. He had gotten the whole tree down. He was just trying to knock that thing over. It was nuts. Anyway, so I've been out doing a bunch of different things, and really the dream all along was to work with my dad. That was the dream. And as good as that dream was at times, um, it needed to change. So I'm, to be honest, not sure what the dream is now, other than hanging out with you guys. Um, you know, Fiddling around, doing projects, hanging out with you guys. Sounds like a fine dream to me. And I think very few people get to do that, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be one of those, at least not in the capacity that I'd want to be. But who knows? If I have enough free time over the coming years, then why not? Then let's hang out. Let's do that. You know? When you're rich, it's very easy to follow your dreams. Never too late to change. Yeah, so I had to change. And um, the topic of rich and poor I find very interesting, mostly because I find an enormous amount of hypocrisy on both sides. I find that it's easy to find poor people that want to act rich, and it's easy to find rich people that, for whatever reason, act poor. And that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not sure either is healthy. So I find that topic very interesting, and just that type of stuff drives me nuts. If you have money, fine, have money, you know. But if something bugs you over a couple of bucks, don't complain about it. That drives me crazy. If you're poor and you're penny pinching, then penny pinch. Do that, and that's okay. It's just when people act the other way, it doesn't really make any sense. So and it kind of gets, I start getting political, and I don't want to get political. I am not that political. I don't do oil threads, I don't do chains, and I don't get political. We have no desire here to talk about election night, which I know is tonight. But the rich and poor topic is very interesting. Live within your means is no joke. Yeah, something like that. Um, Certainly, be careful what I say here. Um, Live within your means. Yes, good. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm very happy to be offered this. Dentists are an interesting bunch, and in Connecticut we have a very interesting situation where people are leaving left and right. They're leaving. We've lost a lot of people out of Connecticut, and we've lost a lot of money out of Connecticut. Dentists are not staying for a number of reasons. They're not coming to Connecticut for a number of reasons. One, it's too expensive. It's very difficult to live here. Even literally the best profession in the country, dentistry, literally the best profession in the country is not good enough almost to live here. The people that graduate UConn, the University of Connecticut Dental School, that's where I went. Most of the UConn students graduate so high up relative to the rest of the country. They get really good board scores. They can literally pick their position, mostly in specialties. So they end up specializing, and they don't stay in state. A lot of people leave. So UConn itself is not supplying Connecticut with dentists. So the point is there are actually fewer and fewer of me, which is great for me in one sense. In one sense, I am actually extremely valuable. But I'm only worth so much. At the same time, I can only produce X, whatever that is, with my own two hands. So even though I'm incredibly valuable to the state, I will probably never get paid what my value is. So very, very, very interesting dynamic going on here. We're losing people left and right out of the state. Dentists are dropping like flies, to be honest. We have the average age of a dentist. When I graduated dental school, the average age of a dentist in this country is 55. So these guys are retiring, getting out of practice, all that stuff faster than, and now it's at an accelerated rate because we had a lag in 2008. Anybody that was going to retire in 2008 didn't. So they hung on for X number of years, and a lot of these older dentists, turns out they find out that their practice really isn't worth what they thought it was. Everybody put everything they had into these dental practices and thinks that they'll be able to get somebody to come in and buy it and it's going to be worth gold. They're producing fewer of me, and they're producing fewer of me that want to spend, 250, 500, a million, whatever it is on a practice. So all these dynamics are very interesting, and it may sound a little pessimistic in the sense that there isn't much hope, and there probably isn't much hope for Connecticut. But I have a solid job here. It's been solid for years, so it seems to make sense to take it. Yeah, manufacturing in Connecticut is another interesting thing. The amount of tool and die stuff you can imagine hanging around Connecticut. You can pick up Bridgeport milling machines for scrap value. I mean, just because we had so much manufacturing here, it's all disappeared, and what are they going to do with all the equipment? Scrap it. Ugh. I think it's important to do what you love. But I also think that ultimately you have to do what you got to do. And so most people just simply don't get to do what they love. You know, the kid in me, you know, if I had my druthers, I would literally eat pizza and play Eve online, play video games all day long. If I had my druthers, that's what I would be doing. Um, I haven't played video games in a while. I just I haven't gotten to it. Uh, Kids, the shed, you guys, whatever it is, I end up working on other stuff. It just consumes me. So following the dream of video games isn't happening. Ultimately, you got to do what you got to do. So, and this was an example in college. I had a summer job, and the summer job allowed me to afford to have the biggest stereo on campus. I had fun, but I built it. I built the stereo myself. So there was that too. Ken, I'm fine with family first, as long as it isn't especially well. This is it's a tough topic. Friends and family is a tough topic. The a saying that I love is friends are the family we choose. So friends are very valuable to me. Have been for a very long time. And the one good thing about the commute that I had down to Norwalk every day was I did use hands free, just so everybody knows, but I did keep in touch with all kinds of people. And actually, just tonight I chatted with a college roommate of mine, and we caught up a little bit, and that's very valuable. I love catching up with friends and family. But friends are the people we get to choose. You know, we get to choose those, and that's very special. So, can't start the sign language you laid my way. Oh no, I can't imagine not working on engines. Yeah, it's habit, isn't it? Time out in the man cave. Having fun is chainsawing. You know, Leonard, I like cutting too. I really do. It's a little dangerous for a dentist to be doing, but I certainly like cutting, and I like sawmilling even better. I love milling. That is working out on the sawmill. It really is. A nice day, clear, a little windy, whatever, comfortable temperature. Being out of the mill is the best because it's so free and such a challenge and interesting every single time. And I'm really not good at doing axes. I have one out in the shed that I worked on. I actually made my own axe handle. I have a piece of oak that was sitting around that worked pretty good, and it works, but I'm really not that good at it. In general, my hands are pretty good. I don't have too many accidents, so. Without gloves, just like milling, but smaller. Yeah. So I don't ever have very much else for you guys tonight, other than me waxing eloquent on my soapbox. I gotta go to the folks, do some machining. If I can get some machining done sometime this week, then we can put that 262 together Friday, assuming I get the tools on Friday. I would love to have tools in my hand on Friday. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get them in my hands Friday. That would be awesome. Or before. Depends on how it's going. And hopefully they don't break any taps or anything like that. Yeah, as long as they don't break any taps, should be banged up by Friday, and I'll have rods and full kits available. which means I'm going to be contacting people. So those people that are out there, expect an email any day. If you're on the list, expect an email. If you want to be on the list, G3 Auto, how's it going? What tools are Craig? I'm waiting on all the rods, all my my crank tools. I'm waiting on all the rods to be manufactured. I've got like 40 kits that are being manufactured. I've got the sleeves. I have sleeves pretty much ready to go, but I'm waiting on the actual the rods, the 3/4 inch threaded rods to be drilled and tapped and all that stuff. What's the going price on a running stock 394 XP? Everybody's going to get hard. You know, this is going to be a chronic question. When was its last rebuild? 394s are like 20 years old now. They were early 90s when they came out. So 91 to 2018, that's more than 25 years. In fact, almost 30 years. So some are 20, 30 years old. I mean, you got to ask the question, when is its last rebuild? I would say in junky looking condition, new bearings and seals, you know, new rubber, new bearings and seals, good mechanical shape, maybe new rings, probably in the $500 or $600 range. Completely stock. Modified, you know, you just add from there what it's probably worth. If it's in nice visual shape, you know, you can bring probably $700 or $800 without too much trouble. You know, nice bar on it, that type of thing. Well, Craig, yes, I have to go manufacture tools for myself for the 262, but I also need the tools for myself to work on the 262 because I sold all the stuff that I had to work on that saw for myself. So yeah, anyway. So Kevin, does that answer your question? Running, you know, some people pay all kinds of money for those things, and sometimes, you know, it's people are asking unreasonable money. If people are asking unreasonable money, walk away. You have to look at what it realistically is worth after a rebuild, and then say, okay, you know, what's it worth today? And just do the math in there. Figure out what it's going to take to actually get you from point A to point B. A running stock 394 that has never been rebuilt might not be worth that much. You got to do the math. But everybody wants a pile for them. It's the way that goes. I've got a 394 that I built up that has a lot of new plastics on it. I mean, it's beautiful. It has a new it's low top, but it's low top, but it's a brand new old stock cover, brand new old stock flywheel, brand new tank on it, gas tank, brand new ignition coil, Nachi bearings, highway seals. It does have an aftermarket clutch on it, but the aftermarket clutches are fine. Brand new OEM muffler, new Meteor piston. It's beautiful, runs great. If I was to sell it, I'd want $1,000 for it because it's so nice. It's a nice looking saw. Who's going to pay me $1,000? Probably nobody, so I'll keep it. You can get a brandy new 395 for, you know, around that kind of money. So is it really worth, even a nice looking ported 394, is it worth $1,000? Maybe, maybe not. I think it is, but if nobody's going to pay me for it, then I'll keep it. Other questions, comments before I take off for the evening and see who wins the elections? Kevin, I'm doing 576 auto tune 400 to 500 in a rebuild. Does that include the original price of the saw, Craig? Or whatever you paid for it in the first place? Okay, so that $400 or $500 total. And what are they? What are they new? Are they still being? Are the 576s still being sold? Yeah, Kevin. If something's overpriced, always ask the question: when was its last rebuild? If the answer is I don't know, or likely never, then on a 20-year-old saw, the price goes down. It's 20 years old. That rubber is shot. Where's the 262 stuff? Hang on a second. Did I throw it in here? Yeah. Okay, so this 262 that I have here that I'm rebuilding passed pressure and vac. As far as I'm concerned, it passed pressure and vac. This is the seal holder, and this is the metal one, which technically is the better of the two. I'm sure the rubber O-ring here is fine. But this seal material is hard. That's hard. That isn't flexible. Not very flexible, at least. I would not trust that. No way. No way would you trust that. So, the seal needs to be replaced. Now, for me, it's not a big deal to replace seals. But bringing it to a shop, they're going to charge you a good amount of money to do that. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you have a 20-some-odd-year-old saw, 30-year-old saw, whatever, the seals have never been replaced, the thing's a time bomb. You just don't know what's going to happen. The thing gets a little hot, the seal opens up, you have a vac leak, you're sunk. And then it becomes a much more expensive repair because you need a new piston, cylinder, whatever, right? So, figure out the price of saws after rebuilds, and then do the math and figure out what it takes to get you there. So yeah, so Craig, how many hours you have in it? What's today, Tuesday? I just shipped the saw yesterday, David. So, or Ken, right? Ken, I just shipped David's saw yesterday. So, it's coming priority, 3 days, so it should be there Thursday or Friday. And just so everybody knows, just to go from Connecticut to Washington with insurance was $80. 2 hours of teardown. It'll be another couple of hours to bring it back. No, that was Postal Service priority. Postal Service snail mail was more like 75. And I didn't go check with UPS, but they were going to charge me at least that, I'm sure. Ugh. It's funny, I've gotten quoted all kinds of randomness from UPS and just, I don't know. It's sometimes it's completely unreasonable. But it is insured, and somewhere I have the receipt. Milkman, I voted. Me too. Cole, what's going on? Last time at Washington FedEx was cheaper, but longer. Yeah, okay. Have to fab a case splitting tool and split the case. Install the new seals. Yeah, the case splitting. Case splitting for those is quite tricky, as I understand it. So best of luck fabbing a tool for that. Do I have any 372 OEMs for sale? No. At least not all OEM. I have 372s, but they're not all OEM. If you're looking for an all OEM piece, then it's going to cost you a penny. For sure. Am I buffering? The guy that owns the that 181 that I did wants me to do a 372 for him, and you know, he wants it all OEM. Am I buffering there? No, it's just the other one. Okay. Right, the stuffers prevent the clamp style. Yeah, so you have to. Well, what about can you do the bar mount one? And then use heat on the flywheel side, tap it out, and then pull the bearing off? Can you do that? You use a splitter that you mount to the bar studs on the and I have one that's just a piece of 2x2 steel tube, but use a splitter you mount to the bar studs, and then you can just push out the crank on the PTO side, and then you have the flywheel side to deal with. So you heat up the flywheel side case, tap that out, and then you have to pull the bearing off, but that shouldn't be too bad after, right? Plate still half thick and drill holes for the studs, yeah. I mean, if you have the stock and whatnot, it's pretty easy probably to weld one up. If you got a MIG welder and some stock, piece of cake. I mean, the one that I have for that literally was just this. It's just a piece of 2-inch tube, and with a couple of holes cut for the studs, and then a couple of big holes cut with a hole saw to get down in there and put the bar nuts on, and a bunch of washers. And as it turns out, I don't know if you can see the bend here, but this is not this is 1/8 inch thick 2-inch square tube. It's not robust enough unless you have big washers inside, and then you just have to grind it out depending on what interferences with the case you have. And this is just a nut that's welded on, 5/8 nut. It's very terribly welded. And then just use a bearing puller, yeah, to pull the bearings off. So you could use a bar stud splitter like that, and then at least you get the PTO side, and then you have to use heat to get the flywheel side. Should be able to get it, even without the stock tool. Although I imagine the stock tools aren't that expensive. They're just complex, right? The stuffers are on the crank over the counterweights. Yeah. Yeah, Walter's done a bunch of the 576s and 562s and all that stuff. Because he's got Bob and him are tight, so Bob gets him probably all the Husky tools that he needs. So he can just split all that stuff, and it's no big deal with all the Husky stock tools. And then you just need my tools to put the 576 back together. No sales pitch there, obviously. Still have to check. Well, anyway, I think I'll call it a night. Yeah, sorry, G3, I don't have what you're looking for. I have 372s, but they're not all OEM. So if you're looking for an all OEM one, I mean, you can email me. You're welcome to email me if you wanted to do a commission build. We can talk about it, but I have to imagine that I'm not going to have that much time because I've got a new job coming in here. So I just don't know if I'll be able to take on work like that. That's all. Yeah, so 18 people here. So part of the news is that I have the contract sitting in the living room. It looks fine, so I will probably be starting fairly soon. Probably next week would be my guess. It's only 5:15 out there. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's a solid offer. It's a good deal. So I really think this is a job worth taking. And David, holy posts, Batman. I mean, how many posts did you put on my YouTube channel there the other day? This morning? What was it? I woke up and I was like 1,000 emails, YouTube comments, all from David. Couldn't even answer all of them. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Good luck with a new job. Yeah, thanks. I have to admit, I'm nervous. and doing the dentistry doesn't really get me nervous anymore. It's just everything else kind of gets me a little nervous. Brandon Viles, good luck. Thanks. Don't forget to have fun at work. Yeah. I think this office will be fun. I do. They have nice staff, and it's a stable staff, and there's some camaraderie, so that's good. I'm pretty convinced I do nice dentistry, but it's everything else when I walk into the office, all the other weirdness that could be there, finding all the stuff that I might need, whatever. Just getting into a new office it takes time, so it's okay. I will work into it. What else? So yeah, tools hopefully Friday. If anybody wants T-shirts or want to be on the list for that, if I don't have them in stock, when I place the next order, I'll put you on the list. What else? If anybody wants to support the channel, go to HL Supply via my link in my usual chainsaw videos, not the live streams. I don't have links in live streams, but in my usual chainsaw videos, there's a link. Click on that and if you need to buy something, and then I get credit for it, so I do appreciate that. And then I get to buy cool stuff and bring it on here and fix stuff, and we get to have a video. If you're going to be closer, I know a lot of people that need some teeth fixed. You know, Brian, I think a lot of people need teeth fixed, and you know, if there was free cash hanging around, then I think a lot of people would spend it. But I think a lot of people are starving for free cash, and here in Connecticut, the taxes have been killing people for years. There's no free cash. And we see it with the tree guys because the tree guys are going absolutely berserk right now because nobody's spent money on tree care in years. So they end up having these big, beautiful trees that end up, you know, going through roofs and things. It's terrible. Nobody spent any money on the tree care because nobody had the money. We've been taxed to death, and there's no free cash. Everybody's really tight with the money, and nothing gets done for a long, long time. Everything gets really run down. It's tough. I know. If you have fun at work, it's not work. Don't worry. I'll have fun. Got to focus on that and enjoying what I do. So it's a good point. All right. I'm going to call it a night. And thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me tonight. For tomorrow, I don't know if I'll have anything for you guys. If I do, I'll come on. If not, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes. And otherwise, thank you so much and all that stuff. And I appreciate all the well wishes and new job soon. Here we go. Night, everybody. Appreciate it. Take care.